Hey, my good people, brothers and sisters. Hey, I'm here, man. Just wanted to hit you guys with another beautiful word to contemplate on. And that word today, we're going to challenge that word sacrifice. And in a good sense, not in the sense that we hear, in today's modern society, rappers and athletes and not that type of sacrifice, not that, demonic stuff, We're talking about sacrifice and, getting ahead in life, making the right sacrifice financially today so you can be in a better place tomorrow with your, finances and things of that nature, sacrifice in the real term of, sacrifice. Now, I don't know who did what and, the Hollywood stuff, not the scandal and all of that, but the real definition of sacrifice and how is, whether or not if you're applying it to your life or not, because we all got wants, we all got desires, but, the realistic of us really, obtaining those goals is if, we make sacrifice. We got to sacrifice for the fun that we want to have right here and right now for the greater good. So come next season, we've been and made, a nice, investment or, whatever it is, our money is right. And then we'll have time to really do what we need to do. But right now it's grind time. And that means, sacrificing, changing your spending habits, being a conscious consumer, as I once said, but yeah, sacrifice. You gotta ask yourself, at some point in time you gotta make sacrifices, you gotta make cutbacks to get the new car that you want, to, get the money to move into your new apartment, or possibly, hey, get your first mortgage on your home. But again, we don't reach that pinnacle until we make sacrifices. And those sacrifices consist of, going out, eating and stuff at, particular places that you really don't have no need to, but we do it because it's convenient. Or we might be, invited to happy hour after work. And, again, we really don't need to be going to happy hour, but, we invited by friends and family, so we go. But is our income there for that? No. Do we have goals and dreams that we're trying to meet and accomplish? Yeah. So this is where you have to, tell your family and friends. Not this time. I'll probably catch y'all, next week on some, after hour, drinking and, going to the lounge. But at this point, I can't do it, y'all. I got to, tighten up. I'm trying to get a new car, or I'm trying to, get the rest of this money together, put down on my home. So it's sacrifices. Sacrifices got to be made, If it's worth you having and you wanting it, chances is no doubt in your mind subconsciously you're gonna make some type of sacrifices and cut back to obtain whatever it is that you're trying to get, But again, I'm just, speaking on that word sacrifice because, we tend to think common sense is common, but it's not so common. So, I'm just trying to break down that word because there's been times in my life where I've had to make sacrifice, had to swallow my pride, to work at places that was beneath me, or at least I thought it was. But, again, pride had me, make certain sacrifice. I had to swallow my pride, sacrifice some things, My pride was letting my car get repoed. My pride was, working at a place where I thought that I was, it was beneath me rather. And then the sacrifice is, okay, well, I got to grind it out. I got to stack my paper. I got to start over, from the starting line. I got to start from square one. But just because that's where you starting at, that's not how you going to finish. Because your whole point in making a sacrifice is to get you to your ultimate goal, to accomplish whatever mission that you, got on the agenda, If your mission is to be, living this way and having that paid off, or possibly being your own boss as an entrepreneur, you have to start somewhere. You have to make the beginning justify the end. You know what I mean? So, like I tell you, man, me myself from personal experience, I've worked jobs that I did not want to do, man. But I swallowed my pride and I made those sacrifices. And did those sacrifices pay off? Yeah, people look at me now and say, oh, yeah, he's doing good. But, again, I wasn't born into real estate. No, it didn't just fall in my lap. It was times where I worked at the dollar store. I worked at a resale shop, and some of my clothes came from a resale shop. You know what I mean? But it was the sacrifice that I had to make because I knew where I wanted to be at within the next 5 to 6 years. You know what I mean? And the most beautiful thing about that is that, it was all about me. But if you can find a significant other or a friend that's going the same route, y'all like-minded, then, y'all can get there a little bit quicker. Two on the grind is better than one. You're going to cut your time in half if y'all both focus. And I was blessed to have a partner. She was on the same stuff, and we got there a lot quicker. Did I, slip up on some of my sacrifices, went outside of my saving? It happens from time to time, but every time you do that, it pushed the clock back. You're like, wow, I'm supposed to have this amount stacked up for that move, but I ain't got it because I went to happy hour after work and woot or I treated myself to, some shoes or whatever it is. But one thing I will tell you, after you, made so many sacrifices and achieving your goals, it's a no-brainer after that, the sacrifice. In fact, it's almost like once you then, disciplined yourself to not want certain things, it's not even considered a sacrifice. It's more like a way of a lifestyle. Because once I realized I didn't need, every pair of Jordans that dropped, every 3 months or whatever it was, man, the Supreme sweatshirt or whatever this materialistic stuff was offering that was trendy. Once you put that beside you, you can't do nothing but bubble, man. You gonna bubble to the top, man. Your money and everything is just gonna increase tenfold. And then you ask yourself, like, man, I don't even feel comfortable spending this type of money on materialistic stuff at some point. So, that's the point where, I guess you outgrown the teenage or pre-adult stage and now you just on some grown man shit, where it's like, nah, that stuff don't make me, I make the money. So it'd be hard for you to treat yourself after, making sacrifices and being so stingy with your money, Once you get to that point, success is right there, man. But you got to, be on point of that pride, that other word, discipline. It's things like that. You got to value your time, to be spending time with people and you ain't producing, ain't making no money. That's a waste of time. Wasting time, you wasting money. Again, so it's sacrifices, man. We have to be willing to make sacrifices. You try to get there without making sacrifices, man, you're asking for failure, man. You got to be disciplined in this game of success, brother. Any other shortcuts is going to backfire, man. It's certain things that's required to be successful in this life. That's all I can say, man. And if you got those keywords, those ingredients, success is around the corner, man. High self-esteem, just be focused. But the main key ingredients, discipline, and that I can't emphasize it enough, man, sacrifice. Today most kids don't want to sacrifice nothing. They want it now, and that's just what it is. The only sacrifices they willing to make is by going against the grain, hurting somebody to get it. And that ain't, the real definition of sacrifice. That's on some selfishness shit that, get you caught up and jammed up. So at the end of the day, good brothers, man, sisters, my peoples, I just want y'all to know to take the time to think about that word, man, sacrifice. What are you sacrificing to get what you need, man, in a positive way? Because in time, you're going to get what you want as long as you focus on it. But you get there a lot quicker if you sacrifice a whole bunch of nonsense. Do you need to, smoke a blunt every 3 to 4 hours? Do you need to, whatever it is that you do on a daily basis that's not, productive? You need to trim it. You need to lose it. Get rid of it. If it's basketball every weekend, I mean, come on, man. You older. What's the point in playing basketball all the time? I mean, it could be exercise, but are you financially comfortable where you can do all of that? So again, my brothers and sisters, I just want to, get y'all guys to, think about that word, sacrifice. We got to trade in some of these things to get where we need to go in life. It's just an even trade off. That's all. So, good people, I love y'all. That was the word for today. Sacrifice, a little bit of discipline, and you shall succeed because the universe want to see you win. It wants to see most people content. The universe, God, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, Elohim, it's a million names, but, again, it's our God, it's our universe, at the end of the day. So I love you, good people. Take it easy till next time.